Am I the asshole for asking if my cousin made her first million yet? Hello friends, I'm from the future. Throwaway, yada yada. Well, technically we're a few hours away from 2021. So advanced Happy New Year. I'm currently outside on our terrace while my family is gathered in the living room after having asked me to step outside for a bit, because apparently I've ruined the mood. I'm turning to you guys to ask if I'm the asshole for what I just did. Family from all over the city has gathered to celebrate the New Year's. COVID is thankfully low in my city and we've taken the necessary precautions. As is typical of Asian family reunions, the old people in the family love to check up on their nieces and nephews. One of my aunts loves to show off her kids' achievements, particularly her daughter Pat. While listing off her daughter's achievements, passing the bar, recently getting married to a fellow lawyer, my aunt turned to me and asked what I've achieved in 2020. She began to list off all my lack of achievements, like how I'm 30 and still unmarred, I'm a dude, if that matters, about how I'm still living at home with my parents and how I'm still driving my shitty 2000-something Civic. My other cousins joined in on the jeering and listed all the other failed aspects of my life. Now, I graduated with a degree in architecture, but after multiple attempts just can't seem to pass the exam. This has been a point of contention in the family because my other cousins are lawyers, teachers, etc., whatever. These days I basically work freelance from home. I don't know why, but my aunt's condescending voice got to me and I said, I made my first million this year. Has Pat made her first million yet? Then turning to my cousins I asked the same, you guys made your first million yet? Because I have. The room fell silent. I basically killed the mood. My dad asked me to go outside and relax because apparently I might have just ruined everyone's New Year celebration. Was I an asshole? P.S. First million in our local currency, not USD. Not the asshole. Why does everyone get to dump on you without you defending yourself? That should have ruined the night for your parents, them dumping on you like this. Not the asshole. If they don't want to hear comparisons and criticisms from you, then they shouldn't make comparisons and criticisms against you. Not the asshole. Everyone seemed to just take it as a chance to attack you about stuff you haven't achieved, but when you question them about making their first million they get mad. Please keep going, you'll get that exam. Not the asshole. Can't argue with the numbers. That's awesome. Your aunt is a jerk and your fam is maintaining this bullshit value-centered shaming status quo and got mad you upset that balance. Do you? Aunt asks for your achievement and mocks you. You, I made my first million. Aunt, surprised Pikachu face. NTA. Not the asshole. I feel like you went less nuclear with your comment than in some of the other posts on here. It comes off a little sweaty and insecure, but you could have said worse stuff, and frankly they ought to also be saying something to your aunt about being mean. Edited to add. Stop spending holidays with your families when you don't get on. Good people of Reddit smiley face. It's a recipe for irritation. Info. Did you really make $1 million? Or were you just being defensive? Not the asshole. I think the only way you could have handled it differently is by saying, I did achieve making $1 million this year, so that's a good achievement. And not ask them if they made their first million yet. But that's really nitpicking and I'm not even sure if that would have helped the situation at all. But not the asshole at all. Info. Did Pat get involved with making fun of you? If you asked only people of your own culture if you were the asshole, what would they say? I ask because it is my impression that the young people are supposed to shut up and take it when the elders speak in many Asian cultures. I don't know the answer, and I don't think it's right, but if it's a cultural thing for you, then maybe you are. Not the asshole. The mood changed because they couldn't make fun of you anymore. Your father should have stood up for you. He said nothing while they were making fun of you, but as soon as you shut them down, he acted like you were the problem. Keep standing up for yourself. Just because their family doesn't mean you have to take their abuse. Op says the family is Asian and the million is in local currency, so I thought it would be fun to provide a few conversions of $1 million of different Asian currencies to USD as of today. 1 million yen equals $9,688.42. 1 million won equals $918.90. 1 million baht equals $33,313.34. 1 million yuan equals $153,126.45. 1 million togrog equals $350.66. Oh, and not the asshole. This sounds totally made up. This is their own classic jealousy and feelings of inadequacy presented in the form of attacks on you. Pat is probably incredibly in debt and the others obviously feel like failures, too. I'd do the same damn thing if I were you. That was shit of your dad, too. Not the asshole. They're assholes clearly. I think you became the asshole why you brought Pat into it. It's unclear whether this cousin was among the cousins who were joining in on the failed aspects of your life, and if they weren't, you were taking out your anger at the mother by bringing her into it. Being from a similar family, I guarantee that even if Pat has asked Mom to stop it, Mom is just going to continue being a dick. Long story short, by brining Pat into it you also became an asshole. She began to list off all my lack of achievements, like how I'm 30 and still unmarred, I'm a dude, if that matters, about how I'm still living at home with my parents and how I'm still driving my shitty 2000-something Civic. My other cousins joined in on the jeering and listed all the other failed aspects of my life. And you ruined the mood? WTF. I'd never go to such a family gathering, ever, again. Is it a family tradition that you should endure abuse with a brave face? And #X200B. The room fell silent because they couldn't be abusive towards me anymore now I had something in which I was better than them. I basically killed the abusive bully's gang mood. So, does your father defend the others when the mood is to gang bully a family member? Congrats on your first million, man. Also, not the asshole. I hate it when they try to be superior by comparing people. Assholes and yet they act like they're the victim. Not the asshole. I particularly hate that your dad did not step in till you lashed out. I'm 30 and still unmarred, I'm a dude, if that matters, about how I'm still living at home with my parents and how I'm still driving my shitty 2000-something Civic. I think you just became a moderator at our personal finance. You sound like their wet dream. Not the asshole. Everyone was lining up to make fun of you and poke fun at you and joke, but then they get all upset when you make a point that you're not a loser. What is their problem? I honestly don't understand why they're so upset at you. They're just upset that the guy who doesn't have all the fancy degrees that they want him to have is actually making good money. I'm a dude, if that matters. It doesn't. Not the asshole, but maybe a little for going against Pat, and then only if she also made fun of you before. I also come from an Asian family and have battled with the internal conflict of whether I should stand up for myself or stay quiet and not stir the pot. When I was young, I never said anything and would cry at night about the things my own mom would say to relatives about how useless I was when I was a good kid. Now, whenever I stand up for myself, I'm talking back and disrespecting them. If they can't handle it being served back, then don't give out that energy. Not the asshole. Info: if you're a millionaire, why are you living with your family and driving a shit car? Sounds like they're telling you to get a move on. All that currency is worthless if you don't spend it. Info: you mentioned that the million isn't USD. But obviously, it's still a significant amount of money if you threw that out as a comeback. My question is, how are you making more than any of them have ever made? You said you're not using your degree, so I'm just curious what sort of work made you more money than the rest of family, but is still so low-key that they don't realize you're more accomplished than them. Everyone sucks here tbh, you had me as not the asshole until you stopped to their level. Asian families are like that. If it's not school, it's your career. If it's not your career, it's your love life. They will always pick on something, and if you don't like it, just stay away from it. You can't change your family, but you can break the cycle for your kids. NTA. They had a dick measuring contest and were upset you won by a mile, ha ha ha. Yeah, you killed the mood. How dare you not let your family belittle and mock you? Why would you mention a success you had and defend yourself? Idiot. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. What they aunt and cousins were doing isn't okay, there's no question about it, and your parents should have really stood up to your aunt about her behavior, but your retaliation was the immature and petty response to that behavior. I really think most of this sub doesn't realize that everybody sucking is a possible response to these, because you were the asshole, your aunt, cousins were just a bigger ones, and your parents suck for not having your back against her. But this is clearly a play stupid games, win stupid prizes move on their part. NTA aunt asked you to list your achievements and you did. But I'm confused, you made 1 million in your local currency, so that means that your freelance job is doing quite well. Doesn't your family know about your freelance job? Not the asshole. But why would it matter if you're a guy unmarried versus being a girl unmarried? It's not okay to berate anyone about that. NTA. This whole family dynamic sounds incredibly toxic. This is an issue with Asian families that need to stop. When an old person starts bitching, everyone join the gangbang. Also, congrats to you for making your first million. Just because they have degrees in certain, more valued, areas doesn't mean yours can't be used in a more smart method. Fuck 'em. NTA. This coming from a dude from an Asian family. Enjoy your life, dude. Not the asshole. Do your parents agree with your aunt's POV? If you're making better money, then I don't see why they're dumping on you at all. Though I am confused and asking for info. Why do you still live at home if you've made $1 million? You said it wasn't US currency, so IDK what the difference is, but just curious on why you're making more money yet seem to be doing the worst. However, the fact that they all ganged up on you and were literally listing reasons you weren't as good as them. I think you get to say whatever you want to that, and you are not ta. Not the asshole. Did your dad think about how they ruined your New Year celebration? How much is $1 million in your currency? Not the asshole. If I were you, I'd go home, have a beer and watch some TV. Why should you spend the rest of New Year's Eve with a bunch of jerks who blame you for defending yourself? Not the asshole. Definition of play stupid games, win stupid prices. Not the asshole. And no, your gender doesn't matter when you say you're 30 and unmarried. It's fine to be an unmarried 30-year-old, male or female. Maybe a cultural difference, but I've never considered being married to be a big indicator of success anyway. Not the asshole. If someone else accuses you again of killing the mood, just tell them that if the mood only included ganging up on you with insults, it needed killing. Not the asshole. Why are you on the balcony? Go back in there and make them so uncomfortable that they have to go out on the balcony. Not the asshole. Screw 'em. You declined a most gracious invitation to lick the boots of a bunch of popinjays. It's important that they remember their place, as equals. In their attempt to diminish you, they only surfaced their own perceived shortcomings and complete lack of value. Well done, they sound toxic and likely to hold you back. Regarding your aunt, if she has some form of dementia, that might excuse her. Culturally, I get that those vocations hold some form of currency, but you are in no way beholden to her nonsense. Feel good about yourself. Hello friends, I'm from the future. Why is no one asking about this? Nope. Not the asshole. You gave it right back to them and shoved their lack of success in their faces. Keep on charging, my friend. Not the asshole. The hilarious thing is that Asian families push their kids into fields like medicine and law so that they can make a lot of money. The fact that you've made more than them combined is proof that their whole parenting philosophy is wrong. Not the asshole. That was the best clapback for that situation. Maybe they'll shut their dang mouths now. Not the asshole. And you won the Asian bragging game. Go ahead and bask in it, cause I bet they'll think twice before trying that again. I had a similar conversation with my family and ended up winning their respect by biting back during their comments, even though I didn't follow the family's doctor, lawyer, engineer plan. Keep doing what you're doing and don't give them the satisfaction of hitting you with low blows. Not the asshole. The mood in there before was shitting on you in the name of fun. That was a mood that deserved to be killed.